I won't. Recording?
I
won't. Hi, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine.
Clink and drink.
Clink
and drink, ladies.
Oh, to those beautiful women there. My name is Lola Stardust, and I am your hostess with the mostest. And before we get started, that's right. What? And before we get started, I'd like to do the disclaimer that we like to do. This show is called Witches and Wine, so that means we do partake in wine, and sometimes we get a little tipsy, we get a little silly. We have had complaints that people don't like that. So we are making it really easy for those. If you're watching and you don't like that, there's an X in the corner of your screen.
Just click it.
Just click it, and you don't have to watch us. Woo!
Yeah.
So it's like magic. It really is.
It's amazing. And it's magic. You can control it at any time.
You can control it at any time. So before we get started with these two gorgeous women on my screen with the... We didn't plan this. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to turn it over to my partner in crime, my high priest, my best friend, my husband, Silent as Stardust. Would you tell us about the wine we're drinking?
I would be happy to, beautiful.
Thank you.
So tonight, in honor of our special guest, we came across a Black Girl Magic Rosé.
Oh, yeah.
From an all-black woman winery out of California. Really nice and elegant. A little bit of strawberry and raspberry notes. Not as elegant as quite as these two ladies, but close.
Yes.
And going to run you about $20 a bottle. If you can do any food pairings with it, I recommend like a nice grilled salmon to go with it. So we're going to go ahead and send it back to you so we can introduce all our guests this evening.
Yes, thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
I am so excited about these guests. I am in love secretly. Well, now it's not a secret. I am openly in love with the beautiful Nubian woman right there with the green tiara. And I just met her shopkeep, and now I'm in love with you, so you have to deal with that. We have the wonderful Aisha Beauchemin and Keila Jardim. Hi, ladies.
Hello. Hi.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. I called you Nubian. It came out.
So good. I love it.
Nubian princess.
She didn't seem offended.
I know. I love it. So why don't you tell us, like, kind of give an introduction of who you are, what you do, if you want to give the titles, us witches and our clergy titles,
Get out the commas.
Get out the commas and the different hats. So why don't you go ahead and take that away?
Hello, my name is Aisha Beauchemin. I am known as Lady Calypso Castell. I am a third degree high priestess of the Correllian Tradition. I am also a joint head with Lady Jin of our Correllian Proto-Temple, Archaic Temple of Arcier. And I am also the head Sea Priestess of our Turquoise program for the Correllian Tradition.
Ooh, awesome. Sea Priestess. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, we're going to jot that one down. We'll come back to that here in a little bit.
Yeah, he's a Poseidon follower, so anything with the sea gets him like, what? Yeah.
What?
And Keila, would you like to introduce or just
give us a blurb?
A blurb? Do you have a blurb?
Hello.
What is the name of your shop since you are the shopkeep?
My name is Keila Jardim, and my shop name is Magic Treasures by Keila Jardim.
Ooh, that's easy to remember.
Yeah.
It sure is. You know who it's not.
Is that where you guys are right now?
I'm sorry?
Are you right there in the shop now?
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
We are in the healing room.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that. And I assume we'll know what kind of things you sell, but give us a little blurb. What kind of things do you sell?
Well, at the shop, we have natural stones, like all kinds of natural stones. I make jewelries out of natural stones, special baths. Herbs. I try to help baby witches find their path, like when they walk in lost.
Yes.
And we go from there. my shop is not specifically focused on business.
Mhm.
It's focused on minded people that need guidance.
Oh, I
Very
love
cool.
that. I love that.
Yeah. So Ishbu found me on Instagram when I opened the shop in this town that I'm new to. So I opened the shop. I started posting things on Instagram and hashtagging the town, and she found me.
Oh, wow.
And now she's my
Her assistant. I'm her
Yeah.
shop apprentice.
Love
she's
it.
my witch angel.
Oh, I love it. I love that.
And where are you guys
It's
generally located?
Where are you located?
in Lamster, Massachusetts, in
All
the
right.
middle of fucking nowhere.
Correct, Armando. Correct, Armando. Yep. I was so happy to see us on the Weather Channel. We
Go-
finally have a dot.
Go on Google.
That's a big deal.
Good. For real.
Yeah.
Google Lamster, Massachusetts, and
I-
you're gonna see a whole bunch of nothing.
Well, no, because there's a whole bunch of you guys. So, I mean, come on. That's.
Well.
Well, and here's.
Some-
We're putting Lamster on the map.
You are. And here's the thing. We live in the second largest city in Washington State, Spokane, Washington, and we don't even have a cool shop like that. We have tried, but it's a very conservative city, and I just still think they're not ready for it. And it's very upsetting because we have a metaphysical shop, but I call it like the fast food chain of metaphysical. It's like they don't have the real crystals. It's kind of all the polished ones, and it's really a big place. And they have a little corner that says Wicca, and it's like
Right.
it's just for people who are more new agey than Wiccan or witches or whatever. So it's a little disappointing, and because and they're in a like a shopping mall kind of thing, the flour mill, and it's the overhead lighting, and it's kind of crammed in there with all the crystals, and everyone that I know that goes in there gets the worst like energy headache. Like it's really bad.
It's just too much.
No.
It's too much because
They don't take any subtleties. It's very bright,
It's like-
lighted in your face.
yeah, and I don't think they know really a lot about what they're selling.
Mhm.
So I don't think they understand that there's so much crystal energy there that maybe they should like keep some in one place, and
Right.
you know what I mean?
That's
They don't
overwhelming.
yeah. So it's
I'm really big at like cleansing the shop all the time.
Yeah.
All our stones are blessed
Mhm.
and like full of good intention and energy. My gift is that when somebody walks in the shop, I know instantly what they need. I let them go around and pick and see what they're looking for, and then I start talking to them, and we go from there. And they, let's say 99% of the time, they leave here crying,
That's
wow.
like
Well,
not
that's a good
knowing
thing, I'm
why
hoping.
they walked in.
Yeah. Well, it's like happy tears or spiritually connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
That's
interesting.
yeah, and the place that we have is they don't cleanse,
I
they
think-
don't sage, they don't.
I think it's just a bunch of residual energies from all the customers coming in without them actually releasing any of it.
Yeah, and they're touching and handling everything. Yeah. So we need, and we've tried, but it just isn't successful. So
It's
kudos.
the mind you put into it. Like when I started, even before I met Aisha, my whole point was I'm gonna have this place. Is a sacred place. Is my blessed place, and I manifested that the people that I wanted to come in would be those that needed help, that needed guidance, and I would be here for them. And like my intentions were all towards that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The business.
yeah.
So
How
now
long?
that I have Aisha, I can focus more on my my healing process, because
Yes.
I started doing theta healing. So now I can come up here because we're on the second floor right now.
Yeah.
And while Aisha takes care of the rest of my life.
Well, I want Aisha to take care of the rest of my life.
I mean, yep. So
How lucky.
I am everyone's Palm Pilot.
Oh, I love it. I love it. How long has your store been in business, Keila?
2 months.
Oh, wow. So this is like new.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that we can get you a little exposure and push a little more business your way, because it's never a bad thing when you're trying to run a business.
Do you have a website or anything?
Yeah.
We do. Yep. I'm actually the webmaster. I'm the one that uploads all the things.
I will, send me the links in our chat, and I will make sure I put them in.
We'll get you out there.
We'll get all that on here.
Thank you.
Awesome. So what I want to talk about is Aisha mentioned in the beginning the Correllian tradition, and we've had Reverend Don on our show
a couple times.
And
an amazing man, by the way.
We just love him. Oh my gosh!
Absolutely. I fangirled the first time I ever saw him by a hotel, and I'm like, do I say hi? I don't know. That's like, what do I do? I don't know.
Oh my God! I'm a little fangirl of him, but what I love about him is that he's peaceful, and it's just this calm.
Yeah.
And but he knows what he's talking about. He speaks eloquently.
The way he dresses is just
he's so dapper.
We use the word dapper for him because he dresses to the nines all the time, and I love all of his suits.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen him dress bad ever.
Yeah, no. and he's big on, representing himself in a way that people will say
they'll respect him.
They'll respect him instantly, and he gets that respect. He gets that respect. Yeah.
He does.
So, can you tell us how you got connected with the Correllian tradition? How did this happen, and that whole history?
So that's a great one. All right.
Long, short.
I will attempt it. Usually is not. So,
it's okay.
I was working at a grocery store here in my city, and I got gallstones really, really nastily bad. So I was pretty much out of work 2 to 3 months. Every complication I ever had, I had it. I ended up like it was so nasty.
Wow.
Yep. And so I was at home, not working, and I'm like, okay, let me look up for some pagan meetups. Now I'm trying to research my spirituality again, everything else. I've been solitary all of my life. My mother taught me everything I know because she was also a witch. And so I'm here looking on Google, and then I see WitchVox, and I'm like, oh, the Rolodex of witches. Here we go.
Yes.
WitchVox. So I go and, all of a sudden there's a temple in Leominster. I'm like, that's a lie. I would have known. But apparently it's a Correllian online temple, and I see the picture on the bottom of WitchVox, and it's a customer that I always compliment her pentacle necklace as she always compliments mine. And I'm like, get out of town. She's one of my favorite customers. She comes through my line on purpose.
Yeah.
So I reached out to her, and back then they were doing all of their rituals on Skype. And so she's like, come and explore, see if you like it. So I met her through Skype, started doing all of our rituals. And then eventually she wanted me to help her lead. And then I started doing all my research in the tradition. And I absolutely fell in love because, as you know, other traditions, they're so black and white, so structured. And you got to use this candle, you got to use this athame. And I'm like, but pagans and Wiccans, they do whatever the heartbeat says. Why do I have to practice? Like, if I want to structure it, I would go somewhere else to a book religion. Not paganism or Wicca.
Yes.
And Correllian tradition, I noticed all the different, like, other people, what they practice. We had voodoo priests, Hellenic people. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I've never seen diversity in a tradition.
No.
Just like ATC. You know, I've never seen such diversity because that is the real world. We live in a diverse place.
Yes.
A tradition should be this way. We're not all going to think the same. We don't come from the same backgrounds.
Yeah.
And then I joined, and then all the way now to my high priesthood.
Oh my gosh. And we're ATC affiliated, but we run our coven very eclectic.
Yeah, we're very eclectic.
We're very eclectic.
Are we?
Yeah, and so we enjoy if someone, we have people that practice shamanism. So yes,
Right.
take us on a shamanistic journey. Or we have people that practice hoodoo. Yes, come in and
Do that.
work that in. I totally agree with that. I like the structure of the ritual because there is a reason why we do the ritual casting and all that.
Correct.
Is to be safe, is to make sure that you're not inviting some weird shit in your circle.
Well, set your boundaries, set your barriers,
Yes.
set your protections.
It's the frame of the house. But then I believe that your circle is like your house. You can decorate it any way you want.
Oh, absolutely. Your magic is your magic.
Absolutely.
Do whatever you want with your people.
Absolutely. I love that. And so did you ever, so now are you running, do you, and forgive my ignorance, but
maybe a group instead of
do you run do you call them covens?
We call them a coven. Yeah, we have, so we have our online temple, which is like our mother church, because that's where we started.
Yeah.
And then it sort of branched out, just like almost any little coven. You try to bring it out to the public. So we did my apartment at first. So I was having solitary rituals with like some friends, and my husband knew I was getting into this. And he was like, how about you convert that little room that we have? And that's where all of our video game storage stuff is. And he's like, just convert it into a little space to have rituals. I'm like, are you serious?
That's
and he's
great.
like, yeah. So I didn't sleep all night. I converted the whole thing.
Yeah, you were so
excited. Like 3-4 a.m. girl. Went to bed. My husband wakes up for work and he looks at it. He's like, are you serious right now? He goes, wakes me up, kisses me to go to work, and he's like, did you just stay up all night cleaning that room when I've asked you to? I'm like, I sure did. Thanks, bro.
Hey, you know what?
No. And then
clink and drink to
motivation.
Yes.
Witchcraft will motivate you to clean.
When you hear the calling,
it does.
answer it.
Yes, when you hear the calling, and if that means organized, do it.
It does. Yeah, and I got really lucky. That started in like 2016, doing it, trying to meet people, doing it in public, getting our name out there. Yeah. And now this year, thanks to this lovely woman for having a little yoga studio, she was like, if you want to use it and have ritual up there, invite actual public, sure. And I'm like,
yeah. That's
creating fellowship with other covens around the area.
My God.
Trying to broaden the horizon. Yeah, it's such beauty. This is a new world for us.
I'm so jelly because that's what we wanted to do, was open up a place that was kind of like a witchy business, but also have people come and circle together.
A pagan healing center.
Like a pagan healing center.
Yes.
And we've been trying for a while.
Unfortunately, egos always get involved.
Egos.
When trying to
egos are bad.
So it's always trying to find cohesive egos and personalities that can work together and not have to have the crown all the time.
Yeah, and it's really hard. And that's one of the things I love about our craft, is that we learn how to set aside that ego, because we all have egos. You have to have an ego. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can't exist without an ego.
No, right.
And there's good ego. You need to have that pride.
There's that self-confidence ego. We do a lot of shadow work to gain that.
Yes.
And wow, self-confidence, good. I have it up the wazoo, and it took me years to get.
I love it.
I'm a Gemini. I don't need any more confidence.
Oh God, yeah, you're enough, dude. I'm a Pisces. I need a lot.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Pisces.
I'm a Virgo.
I love Pisces. My moon is in Pisces, and some of my closest friends are Pisces. My husband will attest to this. I love Pisces people because you're so emotional, and I love that.
Yes, we are. We cry at commercials, and Lion King is still too soon.
How do you feel about Virgos?
So anyway,
next. Turn that page out.
Virgos are needed because you're so organized and you're so particular about things.
They are.
And that is a much needed. We need that. I have had experiences with Virgos because I am very loud and boisterous and just kind of want to and the Virgos, and the Virgos are like, all right, come back.
No.
But get
back to me.
But get this.
Come down.
No, I like it up here.
I'm a Capricorn. So go figure. But
No soul.
so
No soul.
just stop.
There somewhere.
Anyone knows that Capricorn knows that they're wonderful, loving people. There's just no soul.
We are very. I do have the organized brain, but I have the Pisces moon, and then my rising is Leo. That's where the boisterous.
Oh God, yeah,
Yes.
all that.
Yes, all of that
Yeah.
stuff.
All of that.
We made
Correct.
So you were bringing up your husband, and I want to, while I'm thinking of it,
Yes.
what is it? What did I say? Beer shower? Shower beer?
shower beers.
beer.
Beer shower.
Yes.
Is it beer
So-
shower or shower beer?
Shower beer.
Shower beer.
Okay.
How, tell us, how did this,
What is this?
what is this? Because I saw it on your Facebook and I'm like, this looks amazing. I don't know if I could take pictures of me in the shower. Like, she doesn't show anything. It's just beer, shower, and it's great. So how did you come up, what is this?
So, I figured you would know because it's actually not, to be racist, a white people thing. I learned this. Yes. Yes. And I guess it's not white witches. White witches don't know about this ancient art of shower beer. So my husband showed me through Reddit. He lives on reddit.com. And he was telling me that on there, people drink beer on the shower. There's a subreddit called Shower Beer. And I'm looking through it and I'm like, really? Why would anyone do that? He's like, what? Don't you know about it? People have been doing it for years. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll give it a try. So I did. I drank my first beer in the shower. And I remember taking the first sip and I'm like, this is the most heavenly thing I've ever done, ever. That cold beer in that hot shower. I've been converted. So then I started taking pictures and just posting them on Reddit. And now they dubbed me after so many years, Zach and I, king and queen of the subreddit of shower beer. I have my own story arc. They know that, oh, I got a new job, or if I quit, or if I've been injured. And my husband's like, oh, they know this. Oh, they know what I'm going to have a ritual. I'm like, I don't know. I post about it. So everyone knows about me on that subreddit. And then I decided to just put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, and then I get lovely people taking pictures of themselves, like Nim and Dusty took a photo of themselves having a shower beer, and they sent it to me. I'm like, oh, hello, shower beer.
Well, I will be getting beer this week, and I will have to join this.
So now we need to do shower beer and send you pictures. The problem is we have a small shower, and he is like 6'4", and he's tall. Yeah, so it might be a little like cramped, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We can't have shower sex because our shower's too small. And
we're not small people, unfortunately.
I'm
our
not
shower
a bigger girl. The shower's
tiny. And you're a tree.
Yes, and he's a tree. Yes. So we try, but we can drink beer in the shower. We can do that.
And that's how it happened. And my husband doesn't even drink. He just likes the shenanigans.
Yeah, that's amazing.
No alcohol. And he just thinks it's funny. So he just joins and does something stupid in the background.
No. He loves beer.
Mine builds bathrooms.
Also that yours builds actual bathrooms.
What did you say?
What was that?
I said my boo builds bathrooms.
Built one.
Just saying.
Do you have a wonderful bathroom?
Her bathroom's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So jealous.
She just nods her head slowly, doesn't even say anything. Just.
Someday I'm gonna have a bathroom to myself because I live in a tiny house with my husband and a 12-year-old son and a 17-year-old son.
And we have one bathroom.
And we have one bathroom. Yeah.
Ooh.
Mama don't like.
Terrible.
Mama don't like.
Mama don't like in the morning.
Mama don't like. Clink and drink to a new bathroom for Lola. Let's put that out to
for Lola. She deserves it. Bathroom for Lola.
Well, we'll manifest this today.
That's right.
We're
putting it out there.
Ooh. Oh my God, you ladies are so fun. So, how did you come to the craft? Both of you tell me your story. Keila, you've been quiet. Let's talk to you. How long have you been practicing? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but
I love it. Do it. She loves it.
I work under pressure very well.
Are you Correllian, Keila?
I'm sorry?
Are you in the Correllian tradition?
She is not.
I have no tradition.
You have what?
No tradition.
No tradition.
Okay. You just practice.
I call myself an independent witch.
I love
Okay.
it. I love that.
Because I have my I can't tell you how I started because it's been a long since I was little, and I grew up in a very Christian evangelic family where I had to read the Bible every day.
Oh.
So I know back and forth, and
Was it Orthodox?
Orthodox meaning like Catholic.
Catholic.
It was like evangelic.
Oh,
Very
okay.
fanatic.
Like
Gotcha.
it's like Christian evangelic. They don't even like Catholics.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, because they're too
You're
far
not
out.
supposed to like
Right.
can adore like saints and blah blah blah
Mhm,
things like that. Like very closed-minded.
Yeah.
I grew up, I couldn't watch TV because it was the devil's thing. I couldn't dance because it was the devil's thing. Yeah.
Oh. And I like how you were kind of voguing when you were talking about that. You were like,
So
sorry, I just
Oh, that's me.
you lived
She
footloose.
does vogue naturally.
it was like Footloose, the town that wouldn't let you dance.
Exactly. That's me.
Love it.
Anyway, so I've always had this natural thing. About that's the wine kicking in. Goddamn.
The wine
There you
kicking
go.
in. Here we go.
You look
Welcome to
beautiful.
Witches and Wine. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Mine's sliding too. And we didn't even, you guys, we didn't even plan this. Look at, we're all wearing we did not plan this at all.
Yep.
I like theirs better. Anyway, go ahead.
So I used to do my little, spell bottles at home for like protection, my oils and candles, and gift it to my friends. And they used to call me Keila Little Witch. I'm Brazilian, so they used to call me, Bruxinha Little Witch in Portuguese, blah, blah, blah. And they always came up to me when they had a problem, and, I was there. And one day I got my broom out of the closet and I opened a wood shop and my friends were gone.
Of course.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting how that works out?
I know. I was like, I didn't change, guys. I am the same person that had listened to your bullshit day and night, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get you to feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're just like cutting me off because I openly
You came out. Yeah.
I am here to help everyone that needs in a spiritual way, etc., etc. And I don't feel bad at all because it's like the bad seeds were gone.
Yeah. You got
and the great seeds came in.
You got the best seed ever.
I know. Right?
Oh, she's like, I love that. I love that.
I love her.
I know.
Oh, I love
I
it too.
love that. Oh my gosh, you two are, I want to come over there and like hug you. I just want to hug you through the computer.
Just hug through the screen.
Did she tell you when she told me about this, I was like, can we go there?
I did ask her.
Yes, she did. She did. But I just,
not because of COVID or whatever,
COVID.
Yeah, we're gonna get together.
We will get together, I promise.
Once the world becomes less stupid, we will have to happily get together.
Oh my God.
Person.
Yes. The
wonderful thing about COVID, though, I hate to say this, but no, listen, is we are connecting with people across
new mediums.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
And the world.
Yes.
It's opened up a lot more pathways for the witches. With this being able to put festivals online, reaching out to people that would never be able to attend.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the country. Now you can go Now you can attend anywhere with a simple
from
click.
your living room. Yeah. So it's hopefully it's bringing us together in a way that when things hopefully get back to somewhat normal, because I have a feeling that it's never going to be the same. I have a feeling that there's going to be we're in store for some bigger changes. Right. But I'm hoping that
this is our evolution right now.
Absolutely. But we're connecting as witches.
We are.
Across the world through this platform of technology. and it's making us stronger, and it's making us, I feel that we can put together our magic and our energy, and we can protect ourselves and each other and those we love. And
we're building a spirit web is what we're building.
A spirit web, yes.
I feel that like now is the first time we're able to come out and explain to people what we are about. It's nothing that they think like, oh, witch, ugly old lady with the mole
with the warts and
which is gonna be me when I get older, by the way. But
she'll never be ugly.
I got hair coming out of my chin.
I have
those bitches,
I have
girl.
two that I have to take out.
It's fine.
I work in the retail world, and I'm seeing more and more pagans and witches out and being just open.
Yeah.
And I meet new people every week in the public. He does. And I just reach out, and I tell them, hey, if you're looking for people in the community, here's our Facebook group, here's our YouTube channel. Come check us out, and we can help connect people with you guys, because there's a lot more of us out there than people realize.
Yeah,
and
there are.
Have the time and the abilities to reach out to find all these people.
Even in this little conservative town of ours that is it's just very, pro-Trump.
We're in a red part of the state.
We are in a red part of the state. But that's the thing, is they're all hiding. And they're afraid to come out with their spirituality because they're afraid to be persecuted. But when they look and they find us, that makes me so excited, because I'm like, come, we're hiding. I always say that witches are hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Pretty much. When I went to Spring Mysteries, that's something I remember we were forewarned. Like, don't wear your witchy stuff outside. You got to be careful. And I was like, what? I'm so used to it here. Like, even going out shopping with my husband all October, I'm all witched out with my biggest hats that I could find. And my husband's like, oh, this is freaking great. All right, ridiculous.
It's Halloween all year long.
Yeah. And
and
I dress like a witch hot mess every single day.
Yes, and I love it.
For that, you guys can't be open. I'm like, what?
But we have become more open.
Yeah, I don't hide. I don't flaunt it at work. But hide it.
Yeah.
And when I see someone in it, a simple blessed be, and getting the look on their face of like, that surprise. Yeah. Oh, and then a full conversation ensues right from there.
Makes their day.
We went and saw, this was a few years ago when we went and saw Aphrodite perform. We saw one of our favorite DJs perform, and then there was one of our friends said after party at Silenus and Lola's, and we were thinking maybe a few people, and a bunch of people showed up. It was fun, but it was a little like, oh my God, we weren't expecting.
Our small house had about 50 people in it.
It was, we have a tiny house. But at one point of the night, this girl and her boyfriend are leaving, and she's like, thank you for having us. And I said, yeah. And she kind of looked around and she said, and Mary meet. And I went, oh, Mary Parr. And she's like, oh my God. So it's exciting. It's like, they're around,
It is. And they're exposing themselves.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yes. Yeah. Legally exposed. Not
legally exposing ourselves with the crowns and
all the pentacles and
the triple goddesses.
See, we have our coven tattoo.
I wore my shirt today because I'm one of those.
Yay! I love
a band. I wear the band shirt.
Yep.
You're in the band.
I'm in the band. Yep. We see Keila.
Oh, I love that. That's what I want to get. I want to get
new
cross. I love it. And we call the ATC calls the Correllians were cousins.
Yep.
Oh, we're terrible cousins.
Witch cousins.
Our witch cousins. Yes. So,
very, very true.
Aisha, tell us how you started. What brought you to the craft?
She said she was raised.
Oh, you had a mom.
Yes, my mom. After now being in the tradition, learning about so many other belief systems, my mother was a hoodoo conjure priestess, and I didn't know that's what she did. Yeah. And I just learned to do all of our witchcraft behind the name of the saints, because that way the Christians won't know, but we can still practice. We can just hide it better. And so, I learned to do all of that with her, and we always honored our ancestors. That was a big deal. So ever since I was a little kid, I learned smudging. She made me do all the simple stuff like candles.
Yeah.
And I was still learning and learning. And by the time I remember I hit 8, that's when I really wanted to take it seriously. And she's like, okay, we're going to do this.
At 8 years old.
At 8.
That's
at 8. So she taught me everything. And by the time I was 18, she told me, well, you are done your apprenticeship. Now you can just be on your own and just practice with me. So she pretty much dubbed me same level. There is a YouTube video where I did my first Ancestor Lighting, which was, I do it on my birthdays of ancestors or when they pass on. Oh, you're opening another one? Finish that one?
Keep talking.
Okay, I'm talking, sorry.
Talking.
So,
which is fine.
Anyway, I remember lighting, and I have my mother's picture on the altar and everything, and this is the first time that I'm doing this without my mother, because every ancestor we ever did was with her, and I never did anything by myself.
Yeah, so this was a big deal.
This was a big deal, and the tradition will tell you when times of my initiation, everything else, when they called her in, she is a big force, and they're like, holy crap, we feel her. On the tradition, my 3rd degree initiation particularly, she went through a high priestess and received my message, and the high priestess was talking to me, and she stopped and just held my face. And she came back from it, and she's like, did I say anything? And I'm like, no, you just held my face. And she was like, that was your mom trying to come through holding you, but there were no words because she speaks Spanish, but she's so happy for you.
Did you just
she's
cry?
Crying on the other side. Because that was my priestess, my mother.
Did you cry?
I did. I was a hot mess for every single oracle I received. All 3 archpriesthood gave me an oracle, and I died.
Oh my God.
I do cry every day.
We do cry.
I cry a lot too. So it's the Pisces moon.
It's the Pisces.
It's the Pisces moon. I cry. That's why I couldn't figure out until I did my birth chart. I'm like, I'm not like a typical Capricorn. And then I did my birth chart. This was years and years and years ago. And I'm like, oh, the Pisces moon. Okay.
And my emotional mess. There it is. I'm a fishy. Got it.
So we're going to start now. Now, you mentioned earlier that you're the sea goddess for the Correllian.
Oh, yes. We have a door program in the Correllian tradition that anybody can join, whether they're Correllian or not. And there are different classes and specialties. So we have one for mediumship. That's like our white door, I believe. Then we have the blue door, and that one specializes on being a Champlain. Then, and that one, Archpriest Phoenix, he's the one that holds that door, and he teaches you psychology and therapy and how to do Champlain work in hospitals and jails. And then there's mine. There's the turquoise door, and that's the sea priestess door, using the teachings of First Priestess Stephanie Neal, the untraining of a sea priestess. So I do that one. And we have the red door, which is the Spanish version of the turquoise door.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so we teach it also in Spanish.
Very cool.
I love that. So now, did you chose which one you wanted to, or do you have
No, so I like to brag about everything I do, because that's what I do. I like my shower beers. I love my store. I love my coven. So let me just brag about my sea priestess initiation.
Do it.
And Lord Dawn, that is a mistake when he is watching. Clink and drink.
Clink and drink.
Because when you brag about something, they give you a job. So I bragged about it. And you know how this works. So Stephanie Neal, lovely goddess, sends me a message, and she would really loved if I would be part of the Sea Priestess door and teach the Sea Priestess class of her book.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
We have a similar practice in our group. You come up with a brilliant idea, put it in action.
You get to do it.
You just got voluntold by yourself.
You volunteered.
Yes.
I'm glad.
I learned, and I learned that from working with the ATC and being on the staff. Whenever I would come up with these great ideas, because I've been on the staff with ATC even before we affiliated. I've always been working with them.
Yeah.
And I would come up with these great ideas, and then Bella would say, then do that. And I'd be like, crap. So
I'm in the other room going, shut up.
no, so
You've got
Shut up.
right now. Be quiet.
so it actually happened where I actually learned. We were in a meeting, and I was going to come up with this brilliant idea, but I didn't want to do it. So because I've got enough on my plate, so I shut up. So I said, well, has anyone thought of, and then they're like, yes. And I go, never mind, because I know if I say it, I'll have to do it, and I don't want to. And they just laughed. They just laughed. They went, oh, she's learned. She's learned.
She's learned. Oh, I'm not alone.
So when you were talking about your mother teaching you and all that, it reminds me of my grandmother. I'm half Mexican, my mother on my mother's side, and my mother's mother, my grandma, she was always the word bruja.
She was a bruja.
She was a bruja that was thrown around, but she never really considered herself that because she did a lot of.
Wasn't it Santeria?
It was not Santeria, but it was more like it was using still the saints when you were talking about using the saints.
Oh yeah.
Because she was very Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
but she still practiced things that maybe the church wouldn't approve of. But it's not that she wasn't aware that she was doing that. It was just second nature
To her, right? Mm-hmm.
And so my mom said, and I heard the word bruja, and my mother would just laugh it off like whatever, and so and I had a connection with her when I was a child, and we only met like 3 times in our life because she lived in New Mexico. But we would write letters to each other. And so there was this connection. And to this day, my mother, who's in her 80s, she will always say, you look like my mother, you talk like my mother, you dance like my mother, and you even practice your witchcraft like my mother. And it's so she passed away in the 90s, but she comes through to me a lot, and she's always been that ancestor that has watched over me, and I feel her, and it's such a wonderful thing. And I want to talk about the Correllian is very much about ancestors, right?
Oh, we're big.
It's huge on that.
Huge.
Can you tell us about that connection of ancestry?
Yes, we do a lot of ancestor work, especially with our incarnates. So we have I don't know if you ever heard that we have things called different orders. So we have different orders, meaning that we have different groups for things that people specialize in. So we have the Order of the Chef, which is the order of people who bake and cook for the Sabbaths. We have also different orders for like battered women or people in sobriety. And then we have the Order of World Walkers. And I'm in that order, learning that right now. And what we do is go into the astral. And when we have ancestors pass away, we bring them back to our tradition and we get incarnates.
Yeah. Reverend Don had mentioned that, and that I was obsessed with that. I'm just like, that is badass.
And I did this because my mother taught me how to do it when I was younger. Yeah. And then I help friends bring family members back if they wanted to come back, because that's up to them if they're done or not. That's not up to me. I'm here to just be a tool for them to help them if they're lost.
Love it. That's amazing.
And when I found out the tradition did this, I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this my whole life. Really? My mom used to do this.
That's right up your alley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to say something?
I was going to say, it reminds me of a lot of listening to Roman Delgado. If you've never got to meet him, you and him would.
Yeah.
Roman Delgado.
Amazing.
He does a lot of ancestral work. It's.
And I believe he's Brazilian too, isn't he?
No, he's Mexican, I think. He's Mexican.
Yeah, Roman. I think he is.
He's Mexican. He's
Roman
Mexican.
Delgado.
That's Spanish.
Yeah. He's Mexican. Yeah.
But he talks a lot.
I've seen some of his workshops.
Yeah, he's really
a lot
good.
of ancestral work and pulling back ancestors to relay messages and.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially this time of year that we're coming up to with Samhain,
the thinning of the veil and all that.
Thinning of the veil. This is a time that we honor our ancestors, and I think that that's another one of the things, because like I mean, we all have a lot of ancestors, but I have such a strange family history, and so do you, where we weren't really in touch. We didn't hear a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I only heard stories about my grandmother, and then the other stories I would hear, both of my grandmothers on my mom's side and my dad's side. And my dad's side, talk about like opposites. My dad's side with my grandmother is total Norwegian, total Norse. Yeah, and so I've got this weird dichotomy of like,
Right.
Yeah, it's strange, but it works. It works.
Right.
Yeah. But we didn't have a lot of stories. You know, it was, I mean, we have stories, but not honoring. We had a lot of family dysfunction.
We don't do a lot of lineage.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
a lot of dysfunction. And a lot of people who didn't really care about creating memories or stories. So it's kind of up to us to create that. Yes. And so that's why I still love working with ancestors, because the ones that do come through, I want to hear what lessons they have, because I want to pass them on to my children, and I want my children to pass those up, because, you know.
It was like one of the things we have here in our house is I had a very devout Catholic grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised Catholic, didn't speak to me, left it when I was young, but she remained devout her whole life. And after she had passed, she had gifts sent out to all of the grandchildren, children, everything. And I got a rosary and a bottle of holy water.
Yeah.
And we still have it posted in our house.
We have it up on
honoring her as an ancestor piece, even though it's not it honors her.
It's in the west part of our house.
Yes.
And it's where we have all of the Day of the Dead, because that honors my ancestors. And then so we've got the holy water and the rosary. And sometimes people are confused because they're like, I thought you were a witch. And I'm like, this is still
an honoring of an ancestor.
This is still a part of us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Agreed.
absolutely.
I have my mother's rosary too, and it gets people confused. It's like, no, it honors her.
Yes.
That's her path.
Yes.
You know, she did Santeria and everything. That's part of that.
Absolutely.
Well, if we think about it, it's like the rosary they used to pray and pray and pray.
Yeah.
What do we do with the Japamalas? We
pray and pray and pray.
We mantra.
Our
Pray,
energy to
pray.
cause a desired effect.
Prayer to
It's
me,
magic.
Prayer to me is spell casting.
It's spell casting.
Yeah.
It's the power of word. If you pray, regardless of how you pray. What's the difference between the holy water and our moon water?
The same thing.
Well, what do we do in ritual? We
bless things.
We bless our
water with the salt.
Yes. It's the same thing. It's just we call it
spirituality. You have to accept others may not be your path.
And I'm sure you've heard Lord Dawn say it when people ask us how we view things. And it says it in our first degree book too, that it's like a diamond. And whichever facet you view, it doesn't mean you're wrong.
No.
We're all right.
Absolutely.
You're answering the calling, whatever that calling is.
And
correct.
For me, what I love about the craft is that I was taught through the ATC. I was not taught through my old coven, because there were people in my old coven that were very anti-Christian. Mm-hmm. And that hurts my heart, because I really believe that if whatever religion you practice,
right,
they find their faith and their love and their light, and you cannot criticize someone for that, because we don't want to be criticized for us finding our love and our light. Why would we criticize other people how they do it?
We have to accept them, and in the hopes that they will accept us.
Yes.
That's why every time I post something and I'm explaining like unconditional love and anything about what we do, the first thing I ask is, let's put religion to the side. There's no religion. Forget religion. Once we add religion or politics, everything goes to shit.
Right.
Forget about it. There's no religion. We're talking about our soul, how to, love learn how to love, give love, and it's all about love.
It's about love.
And that brings healing, that brings people together, that brings prayer, that brings everything that we do.
Instead, it separates us.
It connects, separate, yes. And that's what we want. That's what we need to be doing.
Right.
My favorite class when I was at the Wiccan seminary was comparative spirituality, because we got to learn about all these different religions.
Oh, we had the same class for third degree comparative religions. Yeah, good class.
It's my favorite because I love to see there's so many things in common.
There are massive central tenets that are found in every faith.
We all have the golden rule. We just call it something different.
Right.
You know, and so and we just call our gods different names, and you know, and it makes me feel like, my gosh, we are so connected. We are so connected, and we don't even realize.
We're 95% the same, 5% different.
Yeah.
Don't let the 5% dictate how you act.
Why are we finding each other right now? And it's very in a fast pace. We are all like connecting.
Mm-hmm.
It's for a reason. Like we've been connecting for a while, but now it's like at a speed that we don't even understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Right.
We need to heal this
world.
This world. Like we need to heal.
That's the age of man, and we've gone to the age of Aquarius, where now it is a great. It is the greater. It is not the individual. It is the greater. It's the collective, and that concepts are being available for the first time in hundreds of years.
And that's why I feel that we no matter what spirituality you have, but if you have that connectiveness to others, I think we'll be okay. Yep. Like I think we'll be okay if we just keep that connection with each other. Whatever you want to call it, you can call it witchcraft, you can call it New Age, you can call it Christianity, you can call it prayer, you can call it whatever. But just connecting with one another is very, very important.
And I'm so glad I got to connect with the ATC. And it was beyond like full circle for me, because they went to lustration. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, I mean, the shortest story that I can tell you, because I saw them and I wanted to cry, because I've been following the ATC years before I became a priestess. So I've seen every YouTube video. I know everything about Bella. I know everything about Pete Pathfinder Davis. Yeah. And when I saw them there at lustration, the first thing I noticed was Dusty's
skirt,
knee-high NES controller socks. And I'm like, oh, really, nerd? Yes. Cool. Yes. And then I went up to them and devoted my love. And I was a big fan. Yeah. And they were like, what? Oh, that's great. And they loved me back, of course. And all of a sudden now, going to Spring Mysteries and seeing the Archpriesthood elevation in person. And I just cried, because I've seen Bella's Archpriesthood elevation over 20 times easily on YouTube. I love you guys so much.
Well, I remember meeting you at Mysteries.
We met you at Mysteries.
And I remember her telling me, I'm like, who is this chick? She is awesome. And
you said, who is that beautiful black woman? Okay. That's what he said. That's Aisha.
To be open, we're both down with this world.
We love black women.
We can't wait to see you again.
Yes. So before we wrap this up, can you tell us about Pagan Information Network?
Yes. So Pagan Information Network is run by the ATC, and they asked me to be part of it. And I was like, hooray. Yeah. So I joined. And basically a few times a day, we post Pagan related news articles, and they tend to be current with the world. They can be Pagan, Buddhist, Yoruba, or climate change, anything that has to do with our mother, we post it. Yes. And so I think it's also very important for me to do that, because as a pagan leader, we need to know our current events, what's going on around the world.
Absolutely.
It's the only way to help our mother and the community.
So how do we find that?
It's on Facebook.
So you can go on our Facebook page, and it's Pagan Information Network.
Okay.
I'll put the links in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you'll be able to find us. So I'm glad to be part of that news team.
I was originally going to be part of that, so I do posts under pagan information.
You do.
But when I was asked to do it, they realized that I had like 500 other things going on. So they had Nimer Laveau and they had you take that. But every once I still go and look. But I'm the type of person that we were talking earlier about this, that I will take on so many projects because I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help.
I feel that struggle bus.
Yes.
And then real.
Yes. And then I'm like, I have too many things to do. And then I go,
We all want to serve as much as we can, and it's just the availability of.
Yes.
well, you realize how much work that goes into
It is. It's a lot of research
in this community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very important.
I'm sure your plate is very full.
It is. It is. Girl. And
Yeah.
I try to, also do the marriage thing, because for me that comes first. My
Yes.
husband and me, that's my priority.
You don't have a
With
plate, you
everything
have a
else.
bowl.
I have a bowl. Yeah, I don't even have a plate anymore. It's a freaking bowl. Just full of stuff, and I love it.
Yes. Well, but we're always learning balance.
Yes.
Balance.
Also that when people are like, oh, you're too busy. And I'm like, nope, no such thing. I make time for everything that's important to me.
Yes.
Including myself.
Yes.
You gotta review, because I
Exactly.
practice self-care like nobody's business.
Yes.
I
And
did my bath bomb this morning. I'm boss bitch, and now I can go to work.
I'm a boss.
I know that.
you do your shower beer. You
That's
take care
right.
of yourself. Yes. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, ladies, this was really
This is
fun.
awesome. It was wonderful meeting you, Keila.
I
and
know.
re-meeting you.
Oh, thank you. It's awesome seeing you guys again.
Oh, we love having you. So if anyone watching, if you want to be a guest on our show or you just have any questions for us, please email us at
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
What was that again?
That's crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
So remember, always be kind to one another, walk with the goddess, and until next time, blessed be. Thank you for watching, you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Good night, everyone.
Bless be.
Bless be.
Blessed be. And